Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Sunday, September 1st, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORIONNWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Seattle Mariners versus the Los Angeles Angels. Game 3 of 3, the rubber match. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 7 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Sunday, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left, we have Julio Rodriguez. And on the right, we have Taylor Ward. Now let's get into the starting lineup here first for the visiting Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners in right field, Victor Robles. Batting second, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Tridents up. Batting third, catching today for the Mariners, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, left fielder, Randy Arozarena. Batting fifth, playing second base, Jorge Polanco. Batting sixth, playing first base, Luke Raley. Batting seventh, DHing this afternoon for Seattle, Mitch Haniger. Batting eighth, playing third base for Seattle, Hollywood, Josh Rojas. And batting ninth, playing shortstop this afternoon for Seattle, Leo Rivas. And on the mound for the Mariners with a 10-7 record, an ERA of 3.23, it's Miller time, Bryce Miller. And we're going to need a good outing out of Bryce this afternoon. Hopefully a solid 6 or 7 innings. And now let's get into the starting lineup for the home Los Angeles Angels. Leading off for the Angels, DHing, Taylor Ward. Batting second, playing shortstop for the Angels, Zach Neto. Batting third, playing first base, Nolan Shonowell. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, third baseman, Anthony Rendon. Batting fifth, playing left field, Kevin Pillar. Batting sixth, playing center field, Mickey Moniak. Batting seventh, playing second base, Brandon Drury. Batting eighth, catching this afternoon for the Angels, Matt Tice. And batting ninth, playing right field, Joe Adele. And making his Major League Baseball debut, Caden Dana. So the Angels are going to be providing 2 players that are making their MLB debut. We roughed up the first one in game number 1, and that one felt good. We ended up winning 9-5. But yesterday was a whole other story with Tyler Anderson, Joe Adele, and Mickey Moniak. And we ended up having a 4-2 lead that ended up going to 4-4, and we ended up losing the game 5-4 in 9. So we'll see what we get here today, but hopefully it'll be similar to game number 1. And we're going to be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. And like I mentioned multiple times in the stream, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. You know, this is the most important thing that you can do every single day that you wake up. Addiction, depression, anxiety, these are just a few things that people are battling with, including myself in the past. So if you feel like you're slipping into the darkness a little bit, put a little bit of effort, understand your triggers, and hold yourself accountable. If you're not exercising, exercise. If you're not eating healthy, cut back on the fast food and try to eat healthier, okay? And again, listen to 30 minutes of music every single day. Make some minor adjustments to your daily routine. Make sure you're hanging out with friends, family, and pets. And if you do these basic things, this will help you get back on track and help you win the day. All right, baby. Seattle Mariners, Los Angeles Angels. First pitch is going to be here in just about 1 minute. Happy Sunday, everyone. And then here in a couple hours, we got NASCAR Cup Series with Darlington. Super excited about that. Go Chase Elliott. Napa know-how. And I know it's going to be tough. Last race before we go into the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. But hopefully the Mariners can get a dub. And hopefully Chase will end up having a good outing here with the rest of the competitors in the NASCAR Cup Series. And then we also got a college football matchup here in about 3.5 hours. USC Trojans going against... who are they going against? Are they going against, I think, let me go back here. I don't want to say the wrong name, but I know I saw it on the slate. Let's take a look. USC versus LSU. Okay, so USC is 23rd in the nation. LSU is 13th at home in the Modelo Vegas Kickoff Classic. So I don't know if that'll be where LSU plays or not, but we'll have to wait and see what we get there as well. Let's go, baby. I am ready. Let's get it. And that was definitely a heartbreaking loss yesterday, but we got to do our best here today. And again, on the mound, making his Major League Baseball debut, Caden Dana. And leading off for the Mariners here in the top of the first, Victor Robles. And I figure, you're going to have J.P. Crawford back in the lineup. I don't think you should grandfather him into the leadoff spot because in a 10-game stretch, if you're batting ninth, you're going to get 8 to 10 less at-bats than if you were batting first. And we know Victor Robles is a better hitter than J.P. Crawford. So I think that they should put J.P. in the 9 hole and put Victor Robles in the leadoff role. And if J.P. isn't playing well, then keep Leo Rivas in. We want to make sure we have the hot hand. And yesterday was definitely a dramatic loss, but hopefully we can find a way to get a little bit of rhythm this Sunday afternoon. Captain Oreo in the building. Let's go Mariners, baby. Daniel in the building. Let's go. We need this win desperately. DX in the building. What's good? Charles Leclerc won in Monza in Italy. Nice. Started third. And obviously, pit stop strategy and having a good pit crew is very essential, not only to F1, but also in the NASCAR Cup Series as well. You got to have a good spotter, you got to have a good crew chief, but you got to have a good tire changers, a good gas guy. You got to make sure that you have all those things on point. And strategy is a big part of racing, which I feel the occasional fan does not understand. All right, baby, here we go. First pitch from Caden Dana, low at the knees, 1-0 count to Victor Robles. Robles crushes that one. All the way to right field. Joe Adele is there. One away. Okay, Victor. But again, Victor is one of our best hitters, and it doesn't make sense to put him in the 9 hole and his grandfather JP in the leadoff. I don't want Victor to get 8 to 10 less at-bats in a 10-game stretch by just being in the 9 hole, because obviously other guys are going to get 4 or 5 opportunities. He's only going to get 3 or 4 in the 9 hole. But leading off, that gives us the best chance to win. Batting second, center fielder who's been hot, and electric, Julio Rodriguez. Keep that electricity going. You've been able to hit home runs, but also you've been making contact with the bat as well, and we love that. Let's go, Julio. Great to see Edgar Martinez, Manny Acta, Dan Wilson working with you closely, and things have been getting better. You're averaging 533 in this Angel series. So let's keep it going, baby. 4 for 6 this series for Julio. And normally we can't say something like that. Whoa, almost hit Julio in the head there. 2 wild pitches there by Dana. Watch out. And we already know the Angels and Mariners have been a little chippy towards each other, hitting each other, with particular batters. So depending on what happens today, I would not be surprised if there ends up being a scuffle or a fight. Pitch right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And I know the Mariners are going to try to avoid that at all costs. But again, if we end up feeling that they're being dirty towards us, we haven't had a problem with Jesse Winker when he was on the team a couple years ago, benches clearing brawl. We will fight if we need to. Popped up to Joe Adell. Julio Rodriguez retired, 2 away. Oh, nice. 2nd and 3rd for Oscar Orlando. Next up, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. Youngest Angels pitcher to start a game since Frank Tanana. 1973, huh? Okay. Pitch is outside. 1-0 count. And it definitely looks like Dana's control is all over the place. He's probably got a lot of nerves and a lot of jitters. But still, we want to make sure that none of our players are getting hit in the head. 205 average, 27 homers, and 80 ribbies for big dumper Cal Raleigh, our MVP this year in 2024. One pitch, big swing and a miss. Finding the count 1-2. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Let's try to get 20 in the first hour. It'll help us in the algorithm to get more views later on in the stream, as well as possible more, shares and donos and subs. So if you are in the room, do your boy a solid. It'd be greatly appreciated. We're going to shoot for 30 to 50 overall. And we have been getting to the 40, 50 range almost every day. So thank you. And we'll always be shooting for 100 in the donos on every single stream. Let's go, baby. And Cal gets retired. Let's go to the bottom of the first. And we're still knotted up here at 0. Next up on the mound with the 10-7 record, ERA at 3.23. It's Miller time. Bryce Miller. Let's go, baby. Let's go to the Angels lineup. Leading off for the Angels, DHing today, Taylor Ward. Batting second, playing shortstop, Zach Neto, who got pulled from the game from an error yesterday and not covering second by Ron Washington. Good to show some discipline in your players. And batting third, playing first base, Nolan Shanoel. Let's go, Mariners. DX with a 5er, getting us started off on a good note. 95 to go. Thank you so much. Ready for Thursday, the start of the NFL regular season, and it's your birthday. And we got games on Thursday and Friday. You get to see the Ravens and Chiefs on your birthday, and we get Packers and Eagles in Brazil on Friday, and I will be doing both of those games. And that's really the only reason that we would not be doing Mariner games. Is that if there's an NFL game on, a college football game on that is worth doing, like the Ducks, or if there ends up, being like a WWE pay-per-view or PLE. So we'll see. But again, my goal going in was to do about 150 out of the 162 games for the Mariners, and we're still on pace for that number. So definitely grinding it out. First pitch from Bryce Miller to Taylor Ward. Pitch is inside, 1-0 count. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you if you want some of your F1 guys. And in the box is Taylor Ward, batting .238 here in 2024. Career versus Bryce Miller, he is 2 for 6. Go Mariners. One-0 pitch from Miller to Ward. Ward pops it up, back, all the way to the warning track, and Julio saves a home run. Are you fucking kidding me? Or did he actually get the homer there? Oh, Julio missed it. I thought he got it. Oh, I thought Julio jumped up and snagged that, and Taylor Ward goes yard. We need to stop giving up home runs so early in the matchup. Wow. I thought Julio got that. I was like, said no fly zone. He jumped and just out of reach. Wow. Camera angle didn't show that, but just missed a home run robbing opportunity by inches. 1-0 Angels. Fuck. Next up, shortstop, Zach Neto. Not the start that we wanted here with Bryce Miller. It's always brutal when you end up giving up home runs, that just barely go over the wall as well. .251 average, 20 homers, and 66 ribbies from Zach Neto. And again, the magic number for the Mariners is going to be 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And if we get to 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits, we will win this game. But again, to give up a home run with the very first batter, come on, Bryce. Okay, I got you, DX. 2-0 pitch to Neto, who's 0 for 5 this series. Pitch right down the middle for a strike as the batter backs away from the box. 2 balls and 1 strike to Zach Neto. Being a sports fan isn't easy, let alone being a sports fan in the Pacific Northwest. There's a lot of downs and a few ups, but again, you have to be mentally strong, to be a fan of a lot of the teams in the Pacific Northwest. But even though we do have a lot of heartache and heartbreak, when our teams are good, we're very, very good typically when we get to that point. So it might take us 4 or 5 years to build a team to compete with the big boys, but there will be times where we go all the way. Also there'll be times that we make it to the championship and lose. But again, for a small market team, what do you expect? We don't really spend a whole lot of money, and we have to hope that the players overachieve year in and year out. Come on, Bryce. 4-seam sinker, splitter, sweeper, and slider. Mix them in today. Bottom of the first with a runner at first. Next up is Nolan Shonowell. As Zach Neto goes to first with the walk. Come on, Mariners. Find a way. We need a double play here. Shonowell 0 for 3 career versus Bryce Miller. Popped up all the way to center field, but Julio is there. There we go, 1 away. Throws it into Leo Rivas to keep the runner honest. Zach Neto back to first base, 1 away. Next up for the Angels, third baseman Anthony Rendon. Come on, Mariners, let's go. Happy early birthday, DX. And that'll be a great game with the Ravens and Chiefs. Could definitely go either way. 228 average, 0 homers, and 9 ribbies this season for Anthony Rendon. Been a little bit of an injury problem for Anthony this particular season. Bottom of the first, 1-0 Angels with a Taylor Ward solo jack that Julio just missed of robbing. Pitches outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. One pitch. Pitch is on the corner for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Anthony Rendon. Come on, Bryce. We need you, baby. 1-2 pitch from Miller to Rendon. Throw to first. To Luke Raley. Neto is safe. Yeah, no worries. Enjoy your birthday, man. I would expect you to. 1-2 pitch. Pitch is high and inside to Rendon. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Popped up. Should be a routine play here for the infield. Polo is there. 2 away. Nice job, Polanco. Next up for the Angels, left fielder, Kevin Pala. All right, we're 3 away from 10. 1 away from 10. We're at 9. Let's get to at least double digits here within the first few minutes. We got about half of the people in the room that have smashed the like button yet, so if you haven't done it yet, please do. Oh, 1 pitch from Miller to Pilar. Popped up. Julio coming in strong. Nice catch. No fly zone. Julio Rodriguez. Nice to be able to see Julio out there healthy. Hell yeah. Nice job, Julio. Let's see if we can get some photos here for you. End of the first inning, 1-0, Angels. See if I can get one more here for you. Appreciate you. That's a nice one. A little bit sharper and a little bit more clear of an image there for you. Randy Arozarena, slow roll dribbler. 1 away. Come on, Randy. We need you to be a little bit more patient instead of just jumping on a first pitch strike. I get it. This is his first, game in Major League Baseball for Dana, but come on now. Next up, second baseman Jorge Polanco. 1 away. First pitch to Polo. In there for a strike. 0-1 count. 211 average, 13 homers, and 37 ribbies here in 2024. Yeah, we definitely need it. Big swing and a miss for Polo, behind in the count 0-2. Should have won yesterday. That one slipped through our fingers. That one chopped foul. And also, too, I understand, I don't really understand the Luis Urias, part in the lineup. That was a mistake. But I feel that with Luke Raley and Dylan Moore, Justin Turner and Dylan Moore, besides Julio, those were the three best players yesterday. And if you look at the lineup today, no Dylan Moore, no Justin Turner, and he ended up hitting 2 home runs yesterday. Not saying that he would do it again today, but hopefully we get to see those guys later in the matchup, maybe pinch hit. A little surprised that we're not feeding off that Uncle Mo and that momentum. When you got a guy that had a good game and then you don't play him the next game, I don't know if I like that or not. But again, we'll see if Rojas, Rivas, Haniger, Raley being in the lineup will make a difference. No JP, so we'll see where it goes. But JP really hasn't been hitting that well. Polo, little slow dribbler into the infield, 2 away. But to have like Rivas in for JP, that's one thing. But like Rojas and Haniger, maybe we should have Justin Turner and Dylan Moore playing again. But I know that they're trying to, figure out the best lineup or right-handed pitcher, left-handed pitcher, platoon guys. But, you want to make sure you're rewarding guys that are playing well, especially guys like Demo and Justin Turner. It's not like they're going to play like that every game. Facts. Top of the second, 1-0 Angels, and hopefully Luke Raley will make the most of this opportunity. Raley, back, see ya! And just like that, making the most of his opportunity. Goodbye. We're knotted up at 1, baby. He said you should have played me yesterday. There we go. Way to bring that electricity. ESP is strong. Let's fucking go. Hell yeah. Nice job by Luke Raley. Hell yeah. Nice job, Luke. There we go. We're back in it. And obviously, Luke playing, before he ended up hitting that home run, I have no problem with him playing every day. But the Haniger and Rojas over Demo and Turner, based on how they played yesterday, we'll see if Haniger and Rojas get a couple hits today to make it worth it. But we know Luke Raley said, hey, I'm going to make sure that we're going to win today. Nice solo dinger by Luke Raley. Big homer. Next up here is Mitch Haniger. Slow roll dribbler. Throw to first. The damage is done by Luke Raley, and nice job, Luke. We're tied up at 1. Let's go to the bottom of the second inning. Hell yeah. Nice job, Luke. Good shit, man. And again, sometimes, we're going to respond, when something bad happens, but other times we don't even get our first, hit or home run until like the 6th or 7th inning. And then, the game is pretty much over. So it's nice to be able to get punched in the mouth, right, with a home run by Taylor Ward, the first batter, against Bryce Miller. And then we can throw a haymaker of our own with Luke Raley and respond. And now the game is tied up 1-1. And that's big for our confidence moving forward. Let's see who's up next here for the Angels. Next up for the Angels, the MVP of the series so far, center fielder Mickey Moniak. Playing like Mickey Mantle lately. Batting second baseman Brandon Drury, who's homered against the Mariners in this series as well. And batting third, catching today, Matt Thaiss. Let's go Mariners. Next up in the box, Mickey Moniak. First pitch is inside. Should have been a ball, but called strike. 0-1 count to Mickey. 236 average, 12 homers, and 44 ribbies. Seems like the Angels are trying to ruin the Mariners' season. And obviously they know they're not in playoff contention. And we're barely, in the mix of it, since we ended up going on that bad losing streak with Scott Service. And if we were just able to beat the bad teams and, try to, halfway compete against the good teams, we would be in much better position right now. We'd be right there neck and neck with the Astros. But, based on, losing to the bad teams and playing down to the competition, that's why we're in the position that we're in right now. And it shows you how good you have to be in baseball. You can't just be good in the first 80 or 90 games and then just coast the rest of the way. You have to make sure you put your foot on the gas for all 162 games. Easier said than done. But our bullpen and our hitters and our starting pitching has lost quite a few games for us this season, specifically the bullpen. And obviously the lack of hitting and the lack of being able to get to 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits on a regular basis. Popped up. Rojas is there. There we go. 1 away. Next up, second baseman Brandon Drury. All right, baby, we're at 10. 10 more to go to get to 20 in the first hour. We're halfway there. First pitch in the Drury for a strike. 157 average, 3 homers, and 13 ribbies. Yeah, you would think that Bobby Witt Jr. and the rest of the squad would have been able to help us out a little bit because we know how good the Royals have been and Bobby Witt has been great, but, just they haven't been able to help us out, man. Yeah, you never know. Again, if the Astros look at that particular team and play down to the Reds level and Ellie De La Cruz and company play well, anything could happen. 0-2 pitch to Drury. Pitch is at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch from Miller to Drury. Pitches inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Bryce. Two-two pitch. Lined up right past the second baseman, Jorge Polanco and Leo Rivas. Nice base knock by Brandon Drury. We need a double play now. Next up is catcher Matt Thaiss. Angels' hard hit rate is 23rd out of 30 teams. Batting 8th in the order now for the Angels, Matt Thaiss. 243 average, 2 homers, and 14 ribbies this season. Big swing and a miss on a first pitch strike. 0-1 count. Career versus Bryce Miller. 0 for 3. Let's make it 0 for 4. Oh, 1 pitch. Pitch is high. 1 ball and 1 strike to Thaiss. Thaiss hitless in the last 4 games. Let's continue that streak. And hopefully we can get a double play here on a ground ball. 1-1 pitch. Pitch is inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Matt Thaiss. Come on, Bryce. April and May weren't good for the Astros, but they've been very good in June, July, and August. That doesn't help us one bit. But again, you have to be able to earn your way in, and you have to be consistent. And, maybe we should have fired Scott Service, a month before. And if we would have done that, maybe we would only be like a game back or maybe tied or even have a lead on the Astros by a game or two. But again, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Strike three. There we go. Bryce goes down. Nice job, Bryce. Knuckle curve by Bryce Miller. Questionable pitch for strike three, but we'll take it. Next up, right fielder Jo Adell. Got to be careful with Joe. He's the type of guy that can hit not only one home run against the Mariners, but he can hit two in one game, just like Justin Turner did yesterday as well. 212 average, 20 homers, 61 ribbies, and Joe does a majority of his damage in the 9-hole. Believe it or not. I mean, how many 9-hole hitters have 20 home runs or more? Not many. 1-0 count from Miller to Adell. Did he go around? Yes, he did. 1 ball and 1 strike. Season versus the Mariners, 265 average, 4 homers and 12 ribbies. But those homers and ribbies have come up in the most clutch situations for the Angels to beat us. 3 for 7 this series for Jo Adell. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 1 strike to Adell. Yeah, that's another thing. Hopefully we don't play down to the A's level and we have to, take everyone serious the rest of the way. And we will be live streaming that tomorrow as well. 2-1 pitch. Pitch is high, out of the zone, but called strike. Debatable pitch there and a debatable call by this ump. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Bryce Miller to Jo Adell. Shout out to all the global viewership in Japan and across the world that watches. We have almost 3,000 regular watches on the channel this month, and we got a lot that are all over the globe, not just in the United States. Bottom of the second, 1-1 Mariners and Angels. Runner at first with 2 outs. 2-2 pitch from Miller to Adell. Adell crushes that one, stays in play. Randy Arozarena is there, and that is out number 3. Thank God. End of the second inning, and we're knotted up here at 1. Let's go to the top of the third and see who's up next here for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners in the 8-hole, third baseman, Hollywood, Josh Rojas. Batting second, playing shortstop in the 9-hole, Leo Rivas. And batting third, back at the top of the order, right fielder, Victor Robles. And hopefully Victor can get going, because usually when Victor gets a hit in one of his first 2 at-bats, then we typically start rolling with momentum. So hopefully Victor can keep the momentum and the Uncle Mo going. Let's go, baby. We're knotted up at 1, top of the third inning. All right, we're at 11. 9 more to go to get to 20. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We got a couple more. Now we're at 12. 8 more to go to hit that first goal, and we want to get 30 to 50 overall. Thank you so much. And we're at 5 on the dono train, 95 to go. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. It's the most important thing you can do every single day that you wake up. Addiction, depression, anxiety, not only are these problems that I've had in the past, you may be going through some of these issues right now yourself. So if you feel like you're slipping into the darkness a little bit, hold yourself accountable, have, a little bit of, pressure on yourself to be better. Exercise if you're not exercising. Eat healthier, cut back on the fast food. Spend time with friends, family, and pets. Listen to 30 minutes of music every single day. You do these basic things, it'll help you get back on track and help you win the day. Go to the top of the third. Mariners 1, Angels 1. Next up in the box is Josh Rojas. Let's go, Mariners. First pitch to Rojas in the middle. for a strike. 0-1 count. Megan in the building. How are you? 231 average, 7 homers, and 26 ribbies for Rojas. Pitches outside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Dana to Rojas. Good morning. Hope you have a fantastic day there in Australia. Pitches outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Are you fucking excited for USC? And as soon as I say that, you said so ready for USC. Obviously, LSU is ranked a little bit higher, and you're going to be on the road. But that doesn't mean that USC can't get that dub. And I'll be rooting for you. 6:40, pretty early. And then the game is going to be on here in about 3 hours. So I'll be rooting for you. And I'm not just saying that. Like, I truly will be rooting for you. Like, anytime, we have rivals in the Pac-12, when we play each other, of course, we want our own teams to win. Rojas dropping down fair. There we go. And that one goes into the stands, a ground rule double by Rojas. But, whether it's the Beavers or the Huskies last night or the Cougs or the Trojans, I'm going to be rooting for all of the former Pac-12 teams to do well in their new home if they had a new conference realignment. And I hope you guys win. I know it'll be tough. And again, we'll get a chance to be able to see what your quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end room looks like with the depth. We'll see what the O-line looks like. Hopefully it's better than Oregon's yesterday. And hopefully the defense will be slightly improved from last year, because that was really their bugaboo, was the defense. And hopefully that'll be slightly better this year than last year. Top of the third, 1-1 Mariners and Angels. Runner at second with no outs. 1-0 pitch to Leo Rivas. Pitches inside. I mean, when he played in the bowl game, he kicked ass and he looked awesome. So again, may not be Caleb Williams good, but he looks pretty good. So hopefully he'll kick ass today. 2-0 count to Leo Rivas. Two-0 pitch. Rivas, slow dribbler. Tag to first as Rojas advances to third base, 1 away. But it shows you, like, with Oregon's offensive line, we gave up 5 sacks with Bo Nix last year, right, for the season. Do you know how many sacks we gave up yesterday to Idaho? Fucking 3. So it shows you how bad the offensive line is. Yes, we have injuries at center and at guard. We have a couple starters down and a couple guys playing out of position. And I believe they had like a redshirt freshman at center. And that's why we did so shitty yesterday. But it shows you when you have an NFL type of caliber player on the line and then they're no longer on the team, it definitely hurts, especially if they're the best center in college football. Tagged up with that play, Rojas scores 2-1 Mariners. Nice job by Victor Robles. But Jackson Powers Johnson, damn, I miss you. And it shows, not only was he a good center, again, him and Graham Barton from Duke that Tampa drafted, those were the 2 best, and again, now, Graham Barton is on the Buccaneers, Jackson Powers Johnson is on the Raiders, and I wish that, he was still on the Ducks, because it would have been a little bit easier to watch the game yesterday. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. We need you, baby. Bring that electricity. You've been batting over 500 in this Angel series. Let's get it going, baby. Right ends up. Pitch right down the middle to Julio for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. 1-1 pitch. Pitch is inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. We got to get to that 20-like number. And then everything, kind of gradually, goes in the right order after that. Dana on the mound making his MLB debut. 2-1 pitch. Like Aldegheri did, being the firstborn Italian player. And we roughed him up early and ended up winning game number 1. But when we had Tyler Anderson, the All-Star, yesterday, we just couldn't get past, Joe Adele and the damage that he did, as well as Mickey Moniak. So 2-2 pitch from Dana to Rodriguez. Julio, slow roll dribbler, throw to first, and that is the end of the inning. But, if you look at Julio's swings with Edgar Martinez, you can tell he's swinging based on the pitch he's not trying to be a hero and trying to hit a home run at every at bat. And that's why the batting average was so low and he was off balance. So you can definitely tell, having Edgar Martinez being the hitting coach, and hopefully Ichiro can give some insight as well when he's at the ballpark, it has made all the difference with Julio Rodriguez. 2-1 Mariners as we go to the bottom of the third. Oh, man, he kicked ass. 3 touchdowns. Absolutely. I ended up tuning into the second half of that game last night. Yeah, he looked good. Absolutely, I got you. I can get one more here for you. Tried like 10 photos and only like 2 got formatted. So hopefully I'll do a little bit more looking and we'll get a few more for you. Obviously I try to get, the photos that look the best with like the HD and the 4K, but sometimes they don't format, unfortunately, but we'll get some USC Pete up here for you too. We're at 5:95 to go. Taylor Ward in the box with an 0-2 count. Solo home run in the first. 2-1 Mariners. 0-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. And Bryce Miller with the K. Nice job. There we go. Next up for the Angels, shortstop Zach Neto. All right, no worries. Get your coffee. Bottom of the third, 2-1 Mariners. Nobody on with 1 out. Bryce Miller on the mound with a strike to Zach Neto, 0-1 count. Let's go Mariners. 0-1 pitch to Neto. Pitches inside at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Miller time for real. All right, we're 6 away from 20. Let's get there, baby. Now we're 5 away. 5 more likes away from hitting that 20 number within the first hour. We got 12 minutes to get 5 likes. We can definitely do that. Let's go, baby. Bottom of the third, 2-1 Mariners. Strike his ass out, Bryce. 1-2 pitch. Got him. Good shit. Third K for Bryce. There we go. Nice job, Milla. You the man, Bryce. Next up for the Angels in the 3-hole, first baseman Nolan Shonowell. Pitches inside, 1 ball and no strikes. And a very exciting week. Obviously, week 1 of the college football season started yesterday for a majority of the teams. We got USC and LSU here in a couple hours, which I will be watching with the NASCAR Cup Series race with Darlington in about an hour and 10 minutes. And then we got the NFL this week, which is super exciting for all those people in fantasy football. Good luck. And we got the Ravens and Chiefs on Thursday, and then we got the Packers and Eagles in Brazil on Friday, and I will be doing live streams for both of those as well. Bottom of the third, 2-1 Seattle, nobody on, 2 outs, 1-1 pitch from Miller to Shonowell. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-one pitch, pitches inside, almost gets Shonowell on the hip. 3 balls and 1 strike to Nolan. Let's go, Bryce. And my Paisley pup finally got her cone off after 8 days after that spider bite. Pitch in there for a strike, even though that was way outside of the zone. Bad umping today. But what's new? We typically have an Angel Hernandez type of ump almost every game, it seems like, in baseball. The umps have progressively gotten worse and worse, it seems like, in the last couple years. And I don't expect anybody to be perfect. It's hard to be an ump, especially a professional one. But you would think that they would be a little bit better. And maybe they need to have requirements of age, because some of these guys are up there in age and their eyesight isn't maybe what it used to be. Especially if you're an ump and you're 30 or 40 compared to an ump that's like 70 or 80 or like in the high 60s. I get it. Some have contacts, some have LASIK, but a lot of these calls by these older umps, not good. 3-2 pitch from Miller to Shonowell. Let's go, Bryce. Strike his ass out. Popped up. And that one goes all the way into the 5th row. Nice catch there by a fan. Good souvenir. Bottom of the third, 2-1 Mariners. And we got to make sure we limit our walks and hit by pitches. 3-2 pitch from Miller to Shonowell with 2 outs. Pitch is low on the corner and missed him. Shonowell the first. That's a damn shame. Next up for the Angels, cleanup hitter, third baseman Anthony Rendon, 0 for 1. Make it 0 for 2. Let's go, baby. Bottom of the third, 2-1 Seattle. Runner at first, Shonowell with 2 outs. Bryce Miller here on the mound, 50 pitches in, about halfway through his outing. Anthony Rendon, 0 for 1 with a pop out in the first in the box. First pitch is way outside by Bryce. 1-0 count, and Cal has a little mound visit here with Bryce, and I love it because, Cal is a leader. He is the biggest leader that's on this team that's not named Dan Wilson. All right, you got Edgar Martinez as obviously the batting coach and the hitting coach, right? You got Manny Acta at third, who obviously has some experience managing in the Dominican Republic. But again, you need to be able to have players that can be that guy to give the confidence and the swagger and the aura, so that way that you have to trust what Cal calls. And again, he definitely helps the pitching staff more ways than you really understand. Because just imagine if we didn't have Cal, for his defense or his bats, and imagine if Mitch Garver was our starting catcher. We would probably have 30 less wins than we have right now if we didn't have Cal Raleigh. So again, nice mound visit. Hopefully he settles him down and they can get on the same page here on how to be able to get Rendon out. Did he go? Pitch was way outside at the knees, but Rendon decided to chase. 1 ball and 1 strike. Let's go, baby. 1-1 pitch. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. I don't know if Bryce is getting tired, but a lot of his pitches are outside, and they're not even close in the strike zone. Come on, Bryce. Focus. Two 1 pitch. That one was right down the middle. Rendon crushes that one foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ana from Mexico. Vamos, Mariners. Let's go. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, Ana. Mariners up 2-1, so that's obviously a good thing to see if you're hopping into the room at this point. 2-2 pitch. Pitch is outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rendon in the box, and Bryce Miller on the mound. Three-two pitch. That one crushed foul. Count remains 3-2. Come on, Bryce, get out of this inning, baby. Let's go. And we're just approaching that 1 hour mark here. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 in the first hour and then 30 to 50 overall. It really does make a huge difference on the channel. 3-2 pitch. Rendon crushes that one all the way to left field, and Randy Arozarena making an unbelievable catch as he flips it over his shoulder to Angel fans without even looking. Wow, nice job by Randy, and we get out of the inning. End of the third, 2-1 Mariners. And we got athletes out there in the no-fly zone. Randy Arozarena in left, Julio Rodriguez in center, and Victor Robles in right. And Julio missed robbing a home run in the first inning by about 3 inches. But again, Randy decides to come up big there. Nice job. End of the third, 2-1 Mariners. Let's see who's up next here for Seattle. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1 with a K. Big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. Batting second, 0 for 1 with that magnificent catch there in left field, Randy Arozarena. 0 for 1, let's make it 1 for 2. And batting third in the 5-hole, 0 for 1, second baseman, Jorge Polanco. Let's go, Mariners. All right, we're very close now. 3 away. 3 more to get to 20. Let's go. 2 more to get to 20. Thank you so much for you guys. I appreciate you. 2 more. And we're there. And then everything is just, easy peasy lemon squeezy after we get to 20. Appreciate you guys. See if I can get you some USC Pete here for some good luck. See what we got here. See if I can get squeeze in one more. Let's go. First pitch to Cal Raleigh. Inside 1-0 count. One-0 pitch. Goes away from Theis. Back to the backstop there. 2 balls and no strikes to big dumper Cal Raleigh. This would be a great opportunity for Cal to homer today. We would love it. He's due. 2-0 pitch. Pitch right down the middle from Dana to Raley. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cal Raleigh 0 for 1. We're in the top of the 4th, halfway through this matchup. Mariners up 2-1. We need some more runs, though. 2-1 pitch. Pitch is high and outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. 3-1 pitch. Pitch is high and outside, and that's a walk, baby. We'll take that. Yes, sir. Cal Raleigh to first. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Let's see if Randy can end up getting a nice base knock or possible RBI opportunity here at this at-bat. Let's go, Randy. Pitches outside. Big swing and a miss by Arozarena. Kind of got baited in that pitch there. Behind in the count 0-1. 0 for 1 today. Ground out in the 2nd inning for Randy. He's not going to really hit with a whole lot of power. A lot of his hits are kind of slow roll dribblers. Kind of like Victor Robles. But if that's the way that they're going to hit and you can still get to first base, so be it. And Randy's not really a bunter, and he doesn't really have that kind of speed, but you never know who might end up dropping a bunt here today, and hopefully we drop down the bunt at least once or twice before the game is over. 1-1 pitch. Pitch is outside. Should have been ball, but called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Randy. 6-game hit streak snapped last night for Arozarena, but hopefully he can end up starting a new streak here this afternoon. Top of the 4th, 2-1 Seattle. Runner at first with no outs. 1-2 pitch from Dana. Dana throws to first to Cal Raleigh to keep him honest. He's safe. Yeah. It's been a little cold as of late. It would be nice for him to heat up again. Just like Julio has been heating up as of late, too. 5 for 6 stolen bags this season for Cal. Randy goes down to 1 knee. Crushes that one. Foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Come on, Randy. I don't care if you bunt. I don't care if it ends up just being like a slow dribbler. Find a way to get on base. Move the runner over. Slow dribbler towards third base. Foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 20-plus home runs in each of the last 3 seasons for Arozarena. Home run in the last 2 of 5 games for Randy. And the magic number is 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits, and we're halfway there. We're at 2, but we only have 2 hits, and we need to, start a little bit better very quickly. We need to be able to go back-to-back-to-back hits at some point in the next 3 innings. Two-two pitch. Randy pops that one up. Should be a routine play. Shonowell is there as Randy tried not to interfere. Popped out to first, 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Come on, Polo. This would be a great time to have an unexpected home run here for the Mariners or RBI. Let's go, Polo. Right ends up. Jacob in the building. What's good? You went to the Guardians Pirates game? Nice. How was it? Was the weather good? And how was the game? Top of the 4th, 2-1 Seattle. Runner at first, 1 out. 0-1 pitch from Dana to Polo. Polo, slow dribbler. Uh-oh, double play. Uh-oh. Safe at first. Fielder's choice with the runner out, but Polo ended up getting past the tag attempt, supposedly. Are they going to do a replay here? They won 6-1. Nice. All right, we're 1 like away from hitting the goal. If you're in the room and haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. I don't know if you've done it yet, Jacob, but if you haven't, please do, and it'll help us get to that number. And then obviously the next goal after that will be 30. Let's go, baby. 1 more like, and then we're at our goal. Let's go for the first hour. Angels challenge here to see if he was out. I don't know if he tagged him. He didn't tag him. I mean, he might have gotten the cloth in the back. Obviously they end up having like a sweat rag, or something like that to kind of wipe off the sweat. You might have tagged the cloth, but you didn't tag the body of Polo. Wow, they called the runner out. Boo. Boo. He tagged the cloth, not the body. Ridiculous. All right, I guess we're going to the bottom of the 4th, 2-1 Mariners. I mean, that definitely was a 50-50 call, or maybe an 80-20 call or 70-30 call, but didn't really look like he had him there. I'm not sure if it really would have made a difference for us, but I think that was a bad call. He had that little sweat rag flapping in the air, as he was running to first, and he looked like he might have gotten that, but he definitely didn't tag the body. But I guess the cloth is a part of the body now, I guess, supposedly. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 4th. At least we still have the lead, 2-1. And let's see who's up next here for the Angels. But I agree. I think it was a bad call, Captain Oreo, as well. Next up, left fielder in the 5-hole, Kevin Pala. Batting second in the 6-hole, center fielder, Mickey Moniak, who's been the MVP of this series besides Joe Adell. And batting third, second baseman, Brandon Drury, 1 for 1. Let's go Mariners. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've really seen a play like that before, where someone's got like a sweat rag flapping in the air as, it's going back and forth as you're running to first base. And, as he's running past the first baseman, a tag was attempted, but it looked like it may have grazed the cloth, but it did not, he didn't touch physically Polo's body. Like he didn't touch his butt or his leg or his hip. So I'm not really sure, but that's what they called. But to my knowledge, if there's some type of like cloth or, sweat rag that gets touched, I mean, that should have been, safe. You got to touch the body, not a piece of cloth that's attached, to the pants. But, but I guess that's what it is. That'll be an interesting thing, if you get some of these guys on MLB Network to discuss that. But to my knowledge, that should have been safe. Bottom of the 4th, 2-1 Mariners. First pitch to Kevin Pala, high and outside, 1 ball and no strikes. The thing is I've never seen a play like that before. I've been watching baseball for a long, long time, but I've never seen an attempt on, a piece of cloth that was hanging from, his butt cheek, as a sweat rag. And then, a tag attempt was made, but I've never seen that play before. So, and I've been watching baseball since like 85. So long time. I mean, it might be a little bit different, with other sports with like football, depending on if you're, getting hit or you're trying to end up hitting the pylon and whatnot. And, the rules will be a little bit different, but for baseball, not very common that you see a play like that. Unless they feel that he actually did get the body, not just the cloth, and they decided to, keep the call the way that it was. So, not sure. We have to get more explanation from those umpires. 2-2 pitch from Miller to Pilar. Popped up. Should be a routine play for Victor Robles in right field. One away. Next up for the Angels, 0 for 1 center fielder Mickey Moniak. Thank you so much. We're at 20. Next goal will be 30. Now we're at 21. 9 more to go to get to 30. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. And we're at 5. 95 to go on the dono train. Pitch is high. And inside, 1 ball and no strikes from Miller to Moniak. 0 for 1 with a pop out in the second. And ended up being the hero yesterday for the Angels. Pitch is inside. 2 balls and no strikes. I got Paisley in here now. Cone is finally off after 8 days after a bug or spider bite. And, had to give her medicine to eat with peanut butter and also had to put some medication on her leg. But she's all better now and she is very happy. She misses Dad. Moniak getting a different bat. Looks like that one might have got cracked a little bit. Two 1 pitch. Pitch is low and inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Pitch is low and into the dirt. And did he go around? Yes, he did. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Watch out, Paisley. Got him. 4th K by Bryce Miller. Nice job, Bryce. Next up for the Angels, second baseman, 1 for 1, Brandon Drury. First pitch to Drury, chop foul. 0-1 count. Let's go, baby. Find a way to get out of this inning, and we still need to get some more hits and more runs. 160 average, 3 homers, and 13 ribbies for Drury. And, of course, one of his home runs was just a couple days ago against the Mariners. Angels definitely have our number. Good girl. All right, Paisley's going to lay down in here. She was trying to get in front of some of the lighting, which was going to distort the screen image and whatnot, but I think she just wants to be close to Dad. 1-1 pitch. Pitch is high and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Brandon Drury. Go M's. Love you, Paisley. 2-1 pitch. Pitch is inside. 3 balls and 1 strike to Drury for Miller. Three 1 pitch. And he walks him. Come on, Bryce. Third walk. Not good. Next up, catcher for the Angels, 0 for 1 with a K, Matt Theis. Theis popped up, going into foul territory, and wow, hitting off a seat in the 5th row and getting all the way to about the 25th row for a fan. Nice catch. Great foul ball there by that fan. 241 average, 2 homers, and 14 ribbies for Matt Theis. Nothing like getting a foul ball at a game, let me tell you. It's one of the more exciting things that you can actually get from a souvenir, because it's not like you're going to end up getting a basketball from an NBA game. You can get a puck if you're extremely lucky. Definitely just as difficult as getting a foul ball. And, unless you're in the front row, like when Cam Newton was playing back in the day, you're already rich. So if you're sitting in the front row with a kid and then the kid gets a ball from a guy like a Cam Newton, you probably can afford it anyways because you're already rich in the front row. But if you're not rich and you're not in the front row, you're probably not getting a football either. So bottom of the 4th, 2-1 Seattle, runner at first with 2 outs. Miller, 76 pitches in. Not really the dominant performance that we're used to from Bryce Miller here today, but we still got a 1-run lead, and hopefully we can keep it that way before he goes out. Matt Theis, 1-2 pitch. Smoke him. You got him, Bryce. Smoke him. Slow dribbler. Throw to first. And that is the end of the 4th inning. Let's go to the top of the 5th and see who's up next here for the Mariners. 2-1 Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 1 with a run and an RBI, a solo dinger, Luke Raley. Let's go, Nuke. Batting second, 0 for 1, DHing for Seattle, Mitch Haniga. And batting third, 1 for 1 with a run, third baseman, Hollywood, Josh Rojas. Let's go, Mariners. And we got NASCAR Cup Series Darlington in about 45 minutes. And then in about 2 hours from now, we'll have USC and LSU. So after I'm done with this particular stream, I'll definitely be locked and loaded with 2 different screens, watching the NASCAR Cup Series, last race before we go to the playoffs in Darlington, as well as USC and LSU going at it. Can't wait for that. And it's the only college football matchup, to my knowledge, today. So it'll be exciting to be able to watch, and a lot of eyeballs will be on USC and LSU this afternoon. See if Luke Raley can get another home run here tonight. Let's go, Luke. Two runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Mariners. So pretty lackluster. And Angels, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. So almost an identical stat line. Take a look at the pitchers to see what we're working with. We're about halfway through the matchup. All right, so Bryce Miller, 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 4 Ks. A very uncharacteristic performance, but at least we still have the lead. And then let's take a look at Caden Dana making his MLB debut. And Dana is 3.2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 1 K. 52 pitches in. First pitch to Luke Raley, in there for a strike, 0-1 count from Caden Dana. Check swing on Luke. Did he go? He did. Come on, Mariners, focus. Minding the count 0-2. Luke says, I can't believe you're calling me with the strike there. Pitch is high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. But this ump has been terrible. There's been at least 4 bad calls for the Mariners and probably 3 or 4 for the Angels as well. Not good. 1-2 pitch to Raley. And there is strike 3 after getting behind in the count 0-2, which is kind of bullshit. And it's hard for guys to kind of get refocused once they feel they've been cheated in the box. And once you go 0-2, unless you're someone like Tony Gwynn, who's a career 300 plus hitter with an 0-2 count, unless you're him, you're pretty screwed in most cases. Top of the 5th, 2-1 Seattle, 1 down. Luke Raley on strikes. Next up, DHing for the Mariners, Mitch Haniger. Let's go, Mitch. We do need an unexpected hero. Could it be Haniger? Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. 0 for 1 with a ground out in the second. Let's see if he can end up going 1 for 2. Let's go. Come on, Mitch. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 209 average, 12 homers, and 44 ribbies for Mitch Haniger here in 2024. One-two pitch from Dana to Haniger. Just got a piece. Foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. .250 career hitter, 130 career home runs, 395 ribbies, 683 hits. For Hanny. Hanny pops up. Should be a routine play to Joe Adell in right field. 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, third baseman, Hollywood Josh Rojas. Be really sweet if we can get an unexpected home run out of a guy like Rojas. It was ice cold after April and May. But within the last few games, he's been a little bit better. He's 1 for 1 with a double in the third and a run. So let's see if Josh can continue his good luck here. .233 average, 7 homers, and 26 ribbies. And a lot of those big numbers were at the beginning of the year when Rojas was in the 9-hole, batting 300 to 350 for us in late April, early May, but has tailed off and really hasn't been very consistent, in June, July, and August. Pitches outside, 3-0 count, but we'll take walks and hit by pitches if that's the only thing that we can get. We just need to get somebody on board. 3-0 count to Rojas. Be smart here. Pitch right down the middle for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike to Josh Rojas. There we go. Pitches at the knees, and Josh takes the walk. Especially if they throw 3 bad balls, they might be able to get 1 or 2 strikes after that. But if they're already kind of out of the zone, chances are if you got a 3-0 count after that strike that they throw, the next pitch typically will be a ball for most pitchers if they've lost their control. And that's exactly what we got. Rojas goes to first on the walk. There we go. Next up for the Mariners, shortstop Leo Rivas playing for J.P. Crawford. First pitch is high and outside, 1-0 count. And hopefully this will be the inning where we see Dana really lose some control. I would love to be able to get a rally started here with 2 outs. I know the Mariners can do it. Now we have a mound visit here by Theis. All right, baby, we're at 23. 7 more to go to get to 30, baby. Let's get it. Good start. Rivas crushes that one. Fading foul. Nice catch there by that fan. They're in about the 5th row. Oh, I don't think you're going to get the strikeouts with Miller. He hasn't been very good today. If Miller goes, we have bullpen problems. So, there is a chance that he would go 7 innings, but that's going to be the only way that you're going to end up getting your parlay or getting your bet, Lloyd. Because if he goes 1 more inning, then he's going to need to get 2 strikes out of 3 batters. I don't think that will happen. Maybe 1 out of 3. And then if you end up, having him go to the 7th inning, then you might be able to win the bet. But if he goes out in the 6th, it'll be pretty tough. Not impossible, but I'm not sure if he'll be able to get 2 guys out of 3. But, we'll see. I hope so. And we're at 23. 7 more likes to get to 30. Let's get there. Top of the 5th, 2-1 Mariners. Throw to first. Rojas is safe. Runner at first, 2 outs, 3-1 count from Dana to Rivas. Now, it's not your real prototypical normal Bryce Miller day, where he ends up getting, 5 Ks out of his first 6 batters. Then he's pacing for like 8, 9, or 10. Pitches outside to Rivas, and it's a walk, baby. There we go. Rojas and Rivas are on, and the guy that we would want up next is Victor Robles. There we go, instead of J.P. Crawford, who's got the day off today. Let's go, Victor. And now we have a mound visit by the manager as well as the pitching coach, and we'll see if this is the end of Cade and Dana. This is a big spot right here. Let's see if they keep the major league debut of Cade in the game, or if they'll pull him here. This might be kind of the big moment of the game. If they get out of this inning, they feel great. But if the Mariners can, end up getting an RBI here, this might be, exactly what we need to be able to get there. Bryce is 77 pitches in. So, he still has room to go a little bit longer. But I guess it just depends on how long the at-bats go in the next inning. Yeah, we got bottom of the 5th and obviously the bottom of the 6th. So it is doable. He's walked more people today than normal. So 2 more Ks, to get to 6 in 2 innings is doable. 1 out of 3, 1 out of 3. Or if you're lucky, 2 and then another one in the next inning. 0-1 pitch. Robles crushes that one foul behind in the count 0-2. Come on, Victor. Top of the 5th, 2-1 Seattle. Runners at first and second, Rojas and Rivas. 0-2 pitch from Dana incoming. Come on, Victor. 0-2 pitch. He did not go. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Come on, Victor. Bring us that electricity. We need that big RBI. Let's go, Victor. One-two pitch from Dana to Robles. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, baby. It's a big key point of the game here, but I just don't know if he's going to come up with anything. We might have to wait until the next inning. 2-2 pitch. Big strikeout for Dana, and we leave 2 stranded. That's fucking unfortunate. All right, we're going to the bottom of the 5th. 2-1 Seattle. And again, you never want to leave guys stranded, but it is a thing that is very common in baseball, and it just hurts more when you're not getting a whole lot of opportunities. We only have 2 hits all day, right? And so do the Angels. So we're lucky that we have a 2-1 lead at this point, but again, we need to be able to win this series. Let's see who's up next here for the Angels in the bottom of the 5th. Next up for the Angels, 0 for 1, right fielder Joe Adell. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run, RBI, and a K. Hit a home run in the first inning, Taylor Ward. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a base on ball and a K, shortstop Zach Neto. Let's go Mariners. All right, no worries. Have a great day, and I'll be rooting for you. V for victory, baby. Let's go. Vamos, Mariners. We can still win this. But again, we need to be able to, have more than just 2 hits. And we're halfway through the game. And, again, we're not very good in, 1 to 3 runs. When we score 1 to 3 runs, we have like 4 wins and 40 plus losses. When we get to 4 runs, the record is, 40, 50 wins and like 10, 11 losses. When we get to 5 runs, then we're elite. Then we're like 44 and 4, 44 wins and like 4 losses. So obviously getting to that 5 or more number is, we know that we can dominate, but the problem is we just don't get to 4 or 5 runs that often. But when we do, we win. So especially with the pitching staff that we have, unless the bullpen just fucks it all up at the end of the game, which does happen from time to time too. First pitch to Adele. Line drive to Hollywood Rojas. There we go. 1 away. Get lucky there. I'll take that. Next up, DHing for the Angels, Taylor Ward. 4 strikeouts and 3 walks. Very uncharacteristic for Bryce, but it is what it is. 6 more likes to be able to get to 30 for the end of the night. We want to make sure we try to get there. Help your boy out. First pitch is high and inside. 1-0 count to Taylor Ward. 1 for 2 with a solo jack in the first. And Julio jumped to rob the home run. And initially I thought he got it, but it just went over his glove on a different camera angle and missed it by about 3-4 inches. 1-0 pitch. Pitch is outside. Did he go around? No, he did not. 2 balls and no strikes to Taylor Ward. Two-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike to Taylor Ward. Two-one pitch. Pitch is high and inside. 3 balls and 1 strike to Taylor Ward. Come on, Bryce. Figure it out, baby. Three-one pitch. Nice strike. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 more for the punch out. Let's go. 1 more. 3-2 pitch. Ward crushes that one into left field. 1 hops onto the fence, back to the wall, and that's a stand-up double for Taylor Ward. Shit. I mean, we've been getting beat up by a number of players in this series. Mickey Moniak has been kicking our ass. Joe Adele has been kicking our ass. Drury had a home run a couple days ago, and now Taylor Ward trying to break out. And, of course, I have him on the thumb, so, of course, he's going to play good today. 4 for 12 in this series. Next up, shortstop Zach Neto, who got pulled from the game yesterday based off an error in back-to-back games, as well as lazy defense and not covering second properly. But we'll see if we can get Neto out here, and hopefully we can end up getting a double play. Come on, Bryce. 0-1 pitch. And he fucking hit him. Fuck. We might have to pull Bryce out of the game. But again, our bullpen is so shaky. You know, like we don't really, I mean, I guess it just depends on who it is. Like I like Troy Taylor. I like Andres Munoz. But who's going to be the Matt Brash? You know, is it Colin Snyder or is it someone else? Like, obviously as long as it's not like Taylor Saucedo or, one of those. But I know we ended up making some roster changes and, bringing a couple guys back up that I don't really feel comfortable with, getting playing time. And we're in the bottom of the fifth, 2-1 Mariners as we have a mound visit here. And he's getting up there in the pitch count. He's already at, 86? And he's at 4 Ks, so I don't think Lloyd is going to win his parlay. But hopefully Bryce can at least complete the 5th inning, and then we can bring someone else new in the 6th. I don't think I would want to bring out Bryce Miller in the 6th inning based on what I've seen in the previous 3 innings. I mean, he's got only 4 Ks, 3 walks. He hasn't really been that dominant. It really depends if they bring him out next inning, and I don't think they will. He's already at pitch 86. I mean, they're not going to have him go 105 or 110. I mean, maybe if this was baseball back in the 90s, but... Pitch right down the middle for a strike. 0-1 count. Next up in the box, first baseman Nolan Shonowell. Come on, Mariners. Do it for Lloyd. 0-1 pitch. Pitch is low and into the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. 249 average, 12 homers, and 43 ribbies in 2024 for Shonowell. Runners in scoring position. He only has a 222 average here in 2024. I would say if his pitch count wasn't so high, you'd be good to go, but he's been kind of shaky in these last couple innings. And we're not very good when we score 1 to 3 runs, and we're only at 2 right now. So unless we have an explosion in the 6th, 7th, or 8th. 1-2 pitch. Uh-oh. Drilled. Back. Julio's there. There we go. 2 away. Hard throw to third. Runner is safe at second as we try to get the runner who is aggressive there. Shonowell. Runner's at second and third with 2 outs. Good base running there. Neto to second, Ward to third. Next up is 0 for 2, third baseman in the cleanup role, Anthony Rendon. "90 pitches in the 5th inning for Bryce, uncharacteristic. Fuck, Rivas, that brings in a run. And another 3-2 Angels. Fuck. Yeah, Bryce ain't coming back out for the next inning after giving up 2 runs. Not happening. Or it'd be stupid to have him come back out. I mean, I know you want to win your parlay, but we need to fucking win this series. Fuck. If Leo Rivas would have been able to make that play, we would have been good to go there. But that Anthony Rendon RBI fucking single brings in 2, and now we're down 3-2, and that is the end of Bryce Miller. Shitty day for Bryce, not good. Next up in the box is left fielder Kevin Pillar. Now I'm curious to see who they bring in. Hopefully it's, someone decent. I don't want to lose this game. And we're still in the mix. We're only down a run, but that one fucking hurt. And coming into the game is Trent Thornton. Uh-oh. I don't like that. Trent is not that reliable. I mean, I guess it's better than Taylor Saucedo, but fuck. All right, Trent, don't fuck it up. And Mariners bullpen typically likes to fuck things up, so hopefully we'll figure this out. But this is definitely the weakest link of our team. by far. Yeah, we're going to go through those hitting woes with team batting average and guys in slumps, but I think overall the bullpen is worse than some of the hitting woes that we've had. And some of the guys have been able to correct their mistakes, like Julio working with Edgar Martinez on the daily. He was off balance on all his swings. He had no pitch recognition, recognizing that pitchers are trying to jam him inside and throw garbage outside, and he would swing at everything, trying to be a hero and try to hit a home run on every single ball. Now he's starting to learn with Edgar, you got to make the most out of every at-bat and stop being a fucking hero or trying to be. And you're going to help the team out more by getting singles and doubles instead of fucking striking out or popping out, trying to be a hero, hitting a home run every time. So God bless Edgar Martinez for helping some of our guys out. But this one, we still got our work cut out for us. Bottom of the fifth, 3-2 Angels. Trent Thornton relieving Bryce Miller. Sorry, Lloyd. And Kevin Pillar now in the box. Got to keep it 3-2. First pitch is low at the knees from Thornton to Pillar. 1-0 count. Line drive. Throw to first. Pillar with a jog to first, and I love that when players just give up on the opposing team. If he would have ran hard, you never know what would have possibly happened, but we'll take it. End of the fifth, but the damage is done. Anthony Rendon with a RBI single that brings in 2 to give them the 3-2 lead. Let's see who's up next here for the Mariners, and we need to get going here. Come on. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 today, but has been hot, batting .500, since Edgar Martinez has been able to kind of take over some of the, technique and methods as the hitting coach. And he's been batting over .500 in this Angel series. Center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Come on, J-Rod. I don't expect you to hit a home run here, but if you can get on base, that would be great. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a base on ball and a K. Big dumper catcher Cal Raleigh. And as he holds the trident in his hand in this photo, he is way overdue for a home run. So, if Julio can get on with a single, Cal can get a home run, we're going to be in business. And then batting third, 0 for 2 left fielder Randy Arozarena. Come on, Randy. And then hopefully we'll end up plugging in, Dylan Moore, possibly at some point in the game, as well as another individual that had some success yesterday for us, Justin Turner, but I don't know if they will. Turner had 2 home runs in yesterday's loss, and Dylan Moore at one point was 3 for 4. I have to go back to look at the stat line to see what he finished. Probably 3 for 5, but 2 of the top 3 hitters, including Julio, aren't playing today. So hopefully we give an opportunity to those guys to cash out. Bring that electricity, baby. You want to be a stud? You want to be a hero? Step up. Let's go. First pitch to Julio down the middle for a strike in the top of the 6th. Dana is still out there making his MLB debut. Zini Panini in the building with a 5er. Appreciate you. Love ya. Thank you so much for your support. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. You want something Eagles for some good luck as we go into Friday against the Packers in Brazil? I hope you win, and I hope you win big. Top of the 6th, 3-2 Angels. And it's kind of unfortunate that we have to play each other week 1 in fantasy. Hopefully we could have played each other a little bit later, but that's how the schedule was, made up. But even, if I lose or you lose, we still can both make the playoffs. It's definitely going to be competitive like it is every year in the league, but I'm really, really happy that you're a part of it. And again, for all those other people that were afraid to invite you because you're so good, shame on them. I want to be able to have the best of the best, whether it's male or female. And I appreciate everything that you bring to the channel. Julio! Oh, and it drops into left field, one away. Right. Obviously the offensive line with no Kelsey is a little bit of a concern, as well as the defense, but we'll see how it goes. But on the bright side, instead of yelling at the TV that Saquon scored another touchdown for the Giants, now you can worry about the tush push and Saquon getting touchdowns for your team. So at least you have that to look forward to for the offense this year. Top of the sixth, 3-2 Angels. Nobody on with one out. Next up is big dumper Cal Raleigh. Hell yeah. Do it. Wear more than one. Wear one, and then at lunchtime, wear another one. You got to let them know. Yes. Pitches outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Block 40 says replace Sims. You don't like Sims? I mean, we have a kind of a different group, of guys that, end up, we have usually 3 different like broadcast duos. Obviously Riz is on the radio and whatnot. And I know a lot of people like him, with the group that they have on the radio. But it kind of just depends on, your overall feel, of who you like. Who do you like in the booth? Like, who is your favorite duo that is actually, getting paid by the Mariners? Do you have like a duo that you like the best? I don't really mind. Again, I listen to a lot of baseball and a lot of commentators. And again, I get it. Some people are going to like some better than others, but I actually like all the different groupings that we have. I mean, I know that they tried to throw Angie Mentink in there as like color. And I know the first time they did it, she was definitely out of place and felt lost. And then she did a game a couple days ago and was much better. But again, being someone that's in the pregame and the postgame with Adam is one thing, but actually doing the game is completely different. But I feel that she's getting better, but, she's definitely not one of the strong suits yet, for that position. She's just kind of like a filler. And Cal with the walk. Yeah, Riz is awesome. I agree. And I can't wait to see that too. But Sims doesn't really bother me. I think that he's got passion and it's honest. He's not going to be like Gus Johnson in like college football where you have that voice and that energy and everything is exciting. He's got, I don't know. I don't want to say he's got like a straight monotone voice all the time, but I don't know. He doesn't bother me as much. But I get it. Some people don't, like that particular broadcast duo. Vamos, Mariners. Top of the sixth, 3-2 Angels. Runner at first. Arozarena in the box. Big swing and a miss. 0-2 count. And I'll get some photos up here for you, Zini. How much time do you have before you're leaving, Zini? Do you got a few minutes to stick around, or are you leaving pretty quick? Pitches outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. But I'll get some photos, obviously, before you go. But if you got like 10, 15 minutes before you got to go, unless you're staying for the rest of the game, you got some time? Okay, good. It's nice to be able to have you, be in the room. I know you got a busy schedule and whatnot. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Randy. Oh, puzzle. What kind of puzzle? Is it something like specific, like themed? Like a building or an animal? 2-2 pitch. Pitch is low and at the knees. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ooh, Oceanscape. Nice. Three-two pitch. Wow, that was inside and called strike 3. This ump is terrible. We've had like 6 or 7 bad calls, right? But the Angels have also had about 4 or 5 or 6 bad calls for them too. This ump is terrible. Down goes Randy, 2 away. Next up, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Polo, Joe Adell is there, and that is the end of the inning in the top of the 6th, and we leave one stranded. Oh, nice. Congratulations on that. And thank you so much, when you ended up, seeing the Bucks and then you ended up sending me the keychain and the shirt. Literally, that Bucks shirt that you got me from the stadium might be like the softest Buccaneer shirt that I've ever owned. And I typically will wear it, like late at night with Paisley, or sometimes when I'm going to be doing Buck streams, or if I'm just watching them. So I appreciate you with the gift and whatnot. And we've exchanged gifts here and there throughout the years and whatnot. And I really do appreciate it. Let me see if I can dig up some Saquon or some Jalen here for you. And unfortunate that you and me couldn't get Jalen in fantasy. And he was the quarterback that ended up winning it for Reflect last year in our league. Obviously looking at, Josh Allen and Jalen, those are my two first choices, but I had no chance to grab those. Lamar went early in our draft, which was shocking. And then CJ went 2, which was shocking. I would never pick Lamar and CJ over Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts based off their rushing ability alone and throwing. But again, some people know a little bit more in fantasy than others. But at least I got the 5th best quarterback that has potential to be number 1, number 2, or number 3 in AR. And I got Dak as a backup just in case he gets hurt. So, because we don't really know if he'll be able to stay healthy. So I covered my bases. But I appreciate you very much. And hopefully we'll all be smiling at the end of Friday night like this with an Eagle victory over the Packers. It's going to be tough, though. Playing in Brazil. Throw to first on Moniak, 1 away. Moniak grounded out. Next up, second baseman Brandon Drury, bottom of the 6th, 3-2 Angels. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Help us get to that 30 number and beyond. And I believe we're at 10. We got 90 to go on the Dono train. Pitches inside. 1-0 count to Drury. Yeah, I love the shirt. And like I said, it's a simple design. Sometimes there's certain shirts that got like too much going on. And obviously just something strictly, through Nike, with the, obviously the logo, the team name, it doesn't have to be crazy fancy. But the one thing that I did notice when I first put it on is that it's a lot softer, because a lot of times you get shirts that are 100% cotton, or you get those ones that have like polyester or whatever mixed in. And the ones that are mixed with the cotton, those are the ones that have that extra softness to it. And yeah, I love it. It's probably my favorite NFL t-shirt that I own. So thank you so much for that. I'll be definitely wearing it on streams underneath my jersey, or just wearing it, as just a t-shirt if it's hot, representing the Bucks this year. Yeah. Good wide receiver too. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get a run of QBs, and every once in a while you'll get someone reaching for a QB in the 1st or 2nd round, which is normally a no-no. And then normally in the 3rd or 4th, 5th round, that's when they start coming off the board. But when one quarterback goes off the board, then people get nervous because, again, if you, depending on when you pick next, if you don't get one at that point, then you might be stuck, with someone, that's like the 8th, 9th, 10th best quarterback. And if you end up, pulling the trigger, you might be able to get a top 5 quarterback, at least projected. So, but again, I was either going to go Burrow, or AR. And I think it worked out good for both of us because I can take a risk, and then you end up pairing up Burrow with Chase. So if they end up playing good together, then you're going to maximize your points. So there was a lot of doubles in the league this year. I got Rashad White and Mike Evans, and I got a lot of doubles and triples on my team. And then we noticed Mahomes and Kelsey, Burrow and Chase. So a lot of themed doubles and triples. And again, it works out great unless you have all those guys playing on your bye week. And then if you have too many guys, on one team or 2 teams in your lineup, then you might end up, losing that one particular week. But I'm definitely excited to see how it all plays out this year in our fantasy football league for the channel. Pitch is high, 3-0 count from Thornton to Theis. Come on, Thornton. But I'm excited for you. Glad that you're able to go to another game. Oh, pitch is outside on the corner, called strike. I know. We've been friends for a long time now. Yeah, I've never been, and hopefully I get to go, to sit in the ship, or if I can get, seats within the first, 40 rows. But if I can't get like a good seat, on the 20, 30, 40, or 50 yard line, I got to sit further back. I wouldn't mind like sitting in the ship, or at least being able to like tour the ship or whatever and whatnot with the pyrotechnics that go off in it and whatnot. One of the coolest, stadiums that has a prop like that with a big pirate ship inside the stadium. So hopefully before I die, I get to visit Tampa at least once. Big swing and a miss. Ice goes down, and Thornton does his job. Let's go to the top of the 7th, 3-2 Angels. Yeah, maybe one day that we'll figure something out. I mean, obviously, I'll have to figure out money and, Paisley and all that. But yeah, maybe one day we'll figure something out, or if the, Eagles end up going back to Tampa in a few years or something like that. And, we'll figure it out. It'd be very cool. All right, see who's up next here for the Mariners in the top of the 7th, down a run. Let me see if I can get you. See if there's anything that Saquon that looks good. Let's see if we have any good Saquon ones yet. Okay, I got 2 for you here. He looks good in the Eagle uniform. I mean, obviously we remember him in that, giant blue, but it looks good. There's definitely going to be some big plays out of him. I just wish Kelsey was still there to be blocking for him and to provide that leadership. But hopefully they'll still be able to figure things out there. Appreciate you. And I'll be live streaming this game on Friday, as well as doing the Chiefs and Ravens on Thursday for the NFL debut. Next up for the Mariners is Luke Raley, who ended up hitting a solo blast to tie the game up 1-1. Batting second will be Mitch Haniger, unless they replace him with a pinch hitter, possibly a Dylan Moore or a Justin Turner. And batting third baseman Josh Rojas. First pitch from Ryan Miller to Luke Raley. In there for a strike, 0-1 count. Come on, Luke. Oh, 1 pitch. Luke pops it up. Fuck. Neto is there, but he has made errors in the last couple days, but comes up with that one in the top of the 7th, 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, DHing in the 7-hole, Mitch Haniger. Go, Mitch. Be a hero today. All right, let's see where we're at. All right, we're at 25. We need 5 more likes to get to 30 to hit the goal for the night. Now we're at 26. 4 more likes to be able to hit the goal. So if you haven't done it yet, please do. It'd be greatly appreciated. I hope so, Dylan. Big swing and a miss. And I think I would have probably substituted Haniger for Justin Turner here at DH. You got to think Justin Turner, isn't going to be hitting home runs that often, and he ended up hitting 2 yesterday. So to be able to bench a guy, for someone else when you could have put him in there, and I know Justin Turner has been playing first base, but he can also DH. And I think I would have trusted, that at bat more today than having Haniger. Now, if Turner didn't hit 2 home runs yesterday, I don't got a problem with Haniger playing DH today, but you want to be able to maximize the most out of your lineup. And Demo was like the 3rd best hitter yesterday too, and he's not playing. Down goes Haniger on strikes, 2 away. But Julio played well, Dylan Moore played well, and Justin Turner played well. And today, no Justin Turner, 2 home runs yesterday. And Demo, I believe, went 3 for 4, 3 for 5, and no Demo today. So, again, I usually like what Dan Wilson is doing in the lineups. He's not as bad as Scott Service, but I think this might have been a missed opportunity today. And hopefully we end up getting Justin Turner and Dylan Moore before the game ends as a pinch hitter. There we go. Rojas with a hit, though. There we go. Nice job, Josh. He's coming up. Bottom of the top of the 7th, 3-2 Angels with 2 outs. Nice single to right by Rojas. Next up is shortstop Leo Rivas. Rojas to Rivas. Let's go. Yeah, no shit, Captain. We need it, baby. So bad. We don't want to keep going, farther back into the standings, and we want to at least have that hope, that we have a chance to be able to catch up. But the Astros aren't helping us out at all. They keep winning. We can't catch a break. And then when they finally fucking lose, we can't even win. We lose also, so we can't gain any ground. It's just really rough. But hopefully one day we'll be able to be the top dog in the division. Not the Rangers, not the Astros. But, we were very good in the beginning of the year, where it looked like we were not only going to win the division, but we were going to make a deep run. But, when things start to collapse with your pitching or your bullpen or injuries, with JP and Julio, it fucking hurt us bad. 1-1 pitch to Rivas, popped up. And that one goes into the crowd, foul. Lots of deflections there with those foul balls. Yeah, I don't want to be 6 games behind either. One-two pitch. Just got a piece of that one. Count remains 1-2 to Rivas from Miller. Come on, Leo. How's work going, DX? 1-2 pitch. Got a little piece of that one as well. Come on, baby. Keep grinding. Let's go. Two-two pitch. Foul that one back. Count remains 2-2. Come on, baby. Come on, Leo. And we got NASCAR Cup Series Darlington just getting underway. And then in about an hour and a half, we're going to have USC and LSU, the only college football game, I believe, on today. So I'll be definitely watching both of those. Runner goes. Safe. Josh Rojas with the stolen bag, baby. I love that. Nice job, Josh. All right, I got the NASCAR Cup Series race here on as well. I got a double dip. 3-2 pitch. That one crushed foul, man. Rivas just grinding away. I wish they wore those Kelly Green Zini all the time. Beautiful jerseys. One of the best in football, period. I mean, there's a lot of teams that end up having throwbacks or color rushes and whatnot, but, you know, obviously being a Duck fan, loving, you know, the, you know, kind of that special color that we like to wear. But that Kelly Green, special. Wow, strike 3, even though it was out of the zone. And I love the green apple, too. Oh, Mariners. Fuck. I mean, that's what happens when you only have 2 runs and only a few hits. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th, and we're down a run, and it kind of feels that we might lose this game 3-2 unless something magical happens here in these last couple innings. Come on, Mariners, don't give up. We need someone to step up. Maybe Cal Raleigh with a late inning heroic home run, possibly. He's due. We need him. Next up, right fielder Joe Adell, 0 for 2. Batting second, 2 for 2 with a 2-run RBI K and a solo dinger in the first, Taylor Ward. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a run, base on ball, and a K, shortstop Zach Neto. Baby. NASCAR Cup Series, Darlington, baby. Let's go. Yeah, and just like in all sports, you know, anything can happen in baseball, basketball, football, and hockey, you know, but also, too, you know, when I, you know, call these games, and I'm going to be doing pretty much every game throughout the year, there's nobody, you know, as far as Seattle Mariner content creators, you're not going to find anyone else that's going to be grinding away on 150 or 160 out of the 162 games in a season. And after a while, you start to recognize tendencies in your team, good and bad. And, you know, either that you're going to be able to have that miracle or not. And I don't know, we kind of seem like we're playing a little uninspired ball right now. And hopefully we can, you know, figure it out. But I'm just hoping that we can have some late inning heroics here. Come on, Mariners. And we got Troy Taylor coming in, which I do like that. He's probably my favorite guy that's in our bullpen, not named Andres Munoz. He's rookie. He's young, but he throws heat. And hopefully he can end up pitching for us in the 7th and the 8th, and then we might have a chance. Go, Troy. We need you, dude. He can throw, you know, 98, 99, 100. You just got to have that, you know, good location. 8 games, 7.1 innings, 1 earned run with a whip of .82. 12th round pick in 2022 from UC Irvine. What a fucking gem. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys. All right, Darlington underway. Got to multitask here. Now, Munoz has blown a couple games, but every closer will blow games, regardless if you're an all-star or not. Bottom of the 7th, 3-2 Angels. Next up in the box, Joe Adell. Takes ball 1. Oh for 2 with a fly out and a line out. Pitch right down the middle for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. But again, if Troy can keep developing and then we get Matt Brash next year, we'll have Brash, Taylor, and Munoz. And that's a solid big 3. Essentially, Taylor will be our Seawald. And I like what I see from him pretty much every game since he's been called up. He's got the swagger, he's got the aura, and it's not him being like overconfident. You got to be able to be confident as a bullpen guy, and it just seems like he carries himself like a vet, even though he's a rookie. I like him a lot. I didn't think you were showing up. 7th inning, 3-2 Angels. I believe we're at 10:90 to go. And I'm not sure where we're at on the likes, but hopefully we can get to 30 and beyond. Pitch is outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. I got a stat for you. The Oregon Ducks last year with Bo Nix only had 5 sacks that they gave up on that offensive line. You know how many sacks we gave up yesterday? Fucking 3. So that's a problem. And that's why we're not going to be as good as we were. And I get it. We have a couple guys on the line that are injured, but still, the impact of not having Jackson Powers Johnson is bigger than words can explain. So hopefully we'll be able to figure it out. But again, 5 sacks given up all year, 3 giving up to fucking Idaho. Golly, not good. Natty dreams are over for Oregon, let me tell you. And hopefully we end up having a better record than 8-4 or 9-3, but we're definitely not going 12-0 or 11-0 or 10-1. At this point, we got to hope that we can get to like 10-2. But not looking good. 0-1 pitch from Taylor to Taylor Ward. Behind in the count 0-2. A guy in the building. What's good? Love you too, brother. Probably not doing any preview stuff. I'm just going to go dive right into the games. So we're going to be doing Mariners pretty much every day. And then once we get to Thursday, we'll be doing Ravens and Chiefs. Friday, I'll be doing Eagles and Packers in Brazil. And then I'll be doing reaction videos for those highlights after the game ends or the next following morning. So, but not really going to be doing any preview streams. Now, like if I was going to do a preview stream and we would be able to get, a good number, on the likes and the subs and the shares and possibly the donos, then maybe I would do it. But I got to be able to stick with, doing games if that's going to give me the best chance to be able to pay bills and to kind of keep grinding, based on the method to my madness here on the channel. So. And also, I went back and watched the tape, Jerry, after Dylan Gabriel hit his, finger on the helmet in the first quarter. He didn't play aggressive. The longest throw that we ended up having was like 20 to 25 yards downfield. He needs to rip it and zip it if we're going to end up being a good team. But again, the offensive line stinks. And again, 5 sacks given up all year. We gave up 3 yesterday, and it was to fucking Idaho. So again, and I feel like the running backs and wide receivers aren't as good as far as athletes, and we're definitely going to pay the price. Like, I still think that, we got a pretty good team, but we're not as good as people, gave us that number 3 record. Texas, Ohio State and Georgia, they all deserve their ranking, but we were definitely overranked this year. We should have been ranked probably like 13th, not 3rd. But again, we had to play that first game to figure out, are we contenders or are we pretenders? And we're definitely fucking pretenders this year. We're not going undefeated. We're not going to just lose to Ohio State and that's it. There is a very strong possibility that we lose 3 or 4 games this year. But I'm hoping only 2, but 3 to 4 could be possible. And that's just being honest. And I've been a Duck fan since the 80s, so, Yeah, hopefully he ends up being healthy for you. We miss him in Oregon. Yeah, and starting like a redshirt freshman at center, but even with the 2 players that are injured, they still aren't going to make that much of a difference. None of those guys are Jackson Powers Johnson. When you have the best center in the country, you kind of take the offensive line for granted, and then once those guys aren't there or they're injured, you start to realize how thin we really are at that position. People like to talk about the Mariners' woes as team batting average and not being able to hit. People are going to be exploiting that offensive line of Oregon this year. And again, we got tough ones against Boise State and Oregon State where, people would think, oh, you'll easily beat them. I don't know. We fucking barely beat Idaho, and they're not even in a fucking Division I team. They're like FCS. So I wish the best for the Ducks, but this is definitely not what we were expecting. And Dylan Gabriel is nowhere near being Bo Nix. He's nowhere near being Marcus Mariota. I mean, the guy is closer to Tim Tebow than he is Bo Nix. And again, Tebow was great in college, but he's more of a shot-put thrower rather than a smooth thrower going through progressions like Bo. And even if we had Jackson Powers-Johnson still playing, right, I don't think, Gabriel is on the same level as Bo, not even close. Popped up to Julio, end of the 7th inning, 3-2 Angels. It does define. It does, though, because, bro, you're only 22 years old, bro. I'm 42. I've been watching the Ducks before you were even in the womb, okay? And if you have to be able to look at the team and what's going on, again, everyone is saying the same thing, how bad the O-line is. But even if you bring in those 2 other guys, you really think it's going to make that much of a difference? I mean, do we really have NFL players on the line? Doesn't look like it, And again, one game doesn't define the whole season, but it definitely sets the tone that we can't, play like that, and again, we're not as good as our record stated going into the year. And again, I'm a big Duck fan, maybe bigger than you, Matt. I'm twice your age. I've watched a lot more games. Okay. And, I wish it wasn't this bad, but it is. And again, you can't just act like, oh, it's just one game. We'll be fine. Fuck that. We're not going to be fine. Based on what you saw yesterday, again, I couldn't even celebrate the win because it felt like we lost, and that's when things are fucking bad. Not only with Gabriel can have a good percentage, but he didn't throw the ball downfield, right? Offensive line looked terrible. Running backs and wide receivers are overrated. And the defense is really the only good thing about the team this year. But again, the corner opposite of Muhammad is going to get roasted all year. They're going to pick on him. So I feel that the defense is the best part of the team. But again, are we going to be able to sustain greatness with just defense? I don't know. We'll see. We will see. And it obviously doesn't help, too, when, Boise State's running back goes off for a bajillion touchdowns in the first game as well. But based on what I saw, I don't feel confident, even playing mid to lower level teams, in the Big Ten. You have to understand, we should have won that game by 40, 50, 60 points, not fucking 10. We should have put up, 50, 60, 70 against a team like that. When you put up 24, to 14, when it should have been 70 to 14 or 62-14, that means the team isn't that good. Period. Like I said, I've watched many, many games since the 80s. That might have been the worst opening game I've seen in my life. And I'm not just over-exaggerating. I'm just being honest. That wasn't a good game whatsoever. So, you can defend them all you want, but again, you have to be able to be honest with your teams that you root for and your players. You just can't push it under the rug and act like, oh, it's all good. We're going to go undefeated. Fuck that. Offensive line stinks. 5 sacks all year, and now we already given up 3 in the first game to Idaho. Not good, bro. And I don't have that confidence in Gabriel that you do. Definitely I saw a lot of weakness in his game, even though he had a good completion percentage. Throw to first to Robles. 1 away. 3-2 Angels. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. And the bottom line is we don't got Bo Nix. We don't got Jackson Powers-Johnson. We don't got Troy Franklin. A lot of the guys that really carried us, we don't have those type of athletes on this team. I mean, it's pretty clear. I mean, even though we had like a 3-headed horse with Bucky Irving and Whittington and Jordan James, but James and Whittington didn't look good. Obviously part of that is the offensive line not doing their job, but overall, they didn't look good to me. Bucky's not there. Bo's not there. Troy's not there. Jackson Powers-Johnson isn't there. And that's a big fucking loss. Julio, there we go. There we go, Julio. Next up, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Can you hit a home run here late to give us a 4-3 lead? We need it, baby. Let's go. And also there's more pressure because we're ranked third in the nation, and all the expectations that, we're going to go to the Natty. Maybe we'll lose to Georgia, but maybe we can get there this year. And I feel like that number 3 ranking, it fucked us, because everyone's expectation as a Duck fan was, shit, we're going to go 11-0, 10-1. We're going to dominate like last year, and maybe we can beat Texas, Ohio State, and Georgia. And if we don't, maybe we can compete, at least for a few quarters before we lose to Georgia in the Natty. Now, after that game, we're not even getting to the fucking Natty. No way in hell. Not happening. We're not going to go undefeated. We're not going to go 10-1. Not happening. I mean, the best that we can ask for is maybe, 10-2 or 9-3, but we'll see, how shitty the other teams are compared to us, if they have a shittier line than us. But if any team that we play is on the schedule that actually has a good O-line or D-line, we're fucked. And that's just being 100% real and honest. So pitches outside, 1-2 count to big dumper. 100%. And I think that the Duck fans were spoiled with that offensive line and don't realize that they only gave up 5 sacks the whole year. There's teams that give up 5 sacks in a fucking game. We gave up 3 yesterday to fucking Idaho. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Cal Raleigh. And I agree, Cal has been a little cold as of late. But he still is one of our best clutch players in 2024 in the 7th inning and beyond. Next up for the Mariners left fielder, Randy Arozarena. Top of the 8th, 3-2 Angels. I'd rather be a real fan than a delusional fan or a fake fan or a bandwagon fan. Again, you got to call a spade a spade. Julio going into second, safe. Nice job, Julio. Plus, a lot of the people, if you've only been watching sports for 5 or 10 years of your life compared to someone that's been watching for almost 40, there's going to be a difference. We've seen a lot more than a lot of the younger generation. We've gone through the video game era, the internet era. We've gone through the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s to see what sports is like now. Things are much different than they were even 5-10 years ago. Looks like Julio went off the bag for a second, but call in the field is safe, and then they're challenging. We'll see. And trust me, I want the Mariners to do great, and I want the Ducks to do great. I want all my teams to do great. But when there is a glaring weakness, like the Mariner bullpen or the team batting average for the Mariners, we stink at hitting, 30 out of 30. You just can't push that under the rug. Offensive line for the Ducks is fucking terrible. You got to be able to address it instead of just acting like it's not a big deal, And I know things will slowly get better, with hitting, bullpen, as well as the Ducks offensive line when we get a couple of the guys back from injury, but I'm not sure if it's going to be as big of an impact that people think. But I was definitely not impressed with many, many things watching that game yesterday. Call stands. Yeah, but defending players and your team, when you know that, you're defending something that is a fucked up thing, you can defend all you want, you know what I mean? But the bottom line is, I speak the truth. I'm not going to fucking, sugarcoat anything. When the teams are good, they're good. When the teams are bad, they're bad. When the players are good, whether they're on my team or not, we're going to call it out, good or bad. You have to be real. You can't be fake and act like things are not a problem when they are, Exactly. Fucking cardboard in the shoes, right? Steps out on the box, and that is a walk. Runners at first and second now here for Seattle. Let's take advantage. Next up, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Come on, Polo. I mean, there's a difference between elite players, good players, and bad players. If someone is bad or they're not good, I mean, you can defend it all you want, but if they're bad, they're bad. You know, if you're good, you're good. You know, it's not like we talk shit, you know, on players that are good and say they're bad, or bad players and we say that they're good. You know, we keep it real here. You know, and that's the difference between here and a lot of other channels where they're trying to sugarcoat shit and try to act like things are good when they're not, or, you know, saying a player is shitty when we know they're elite. You know, there's always going to be debates on, you know, who's the best and the different tiers of players, but we don't speak lies on this channel. I mean, sometimes the harsh reality of the truth hurts, you know, that we're not going to be able to win a championship this year. We're not going to the Natty. You know, we're not good enough to hang with Texas, Ohio State, or Georgia. That shit hurts. It hurts me a lot more than it hurts you, Matt. Fuck, I'm double your age, man. I've been watching a lot longer than you. But again, you have to keep it real. And I know that we'll be able to clean some things up, but the bottom line is we don't have the same type of players that we had last year. Popped up, and the Angels get out of the inning with our best opportunity of the night. We're going to the bottom of the eighth, 3-2 Los Angeles. I don't know. And just, you know, being honest, based off the flow of this game, if I had to put bet on it, you know, and put money on it, I would assume that we're going to lose this game 3-2. I don't really feel like, you know, anyone is motivated to win the game. Like, you can tell by body language and aura, you know, if, you know, and every once in a while you are going to get some magic, right? Where unexpectedly with 2 outs, you get on a run of like 6 straight hits and then you end up coming back and winning the game. But, you know, for every something special like that happens, then you get games like this where you're kind of just going through the motions when you end up watching the game and they're thinking about, okay, what's for dinner? I need to go out. You know, we need to get on the plane. And you can definitely tell with the players who are still focused and the ones that are looking ahead, you know, of the rest of the day. What do I do? You know, 162 game season is a long fucking year. And not everyone is going to be locked in, unfortunately. And it just kind of feels like we've given up. And a big part of that is the big comeback yesterday. If we would have won the game yesterday, maybe this game is a little bit different. But since we had our hearts ripped out yesterday, I feel that, you know, we're still soaking that in, that wound. We're still bleeding out from yesterday. We should have won that game yesterday, and they came back and won when we were up 4-2 and won 5-4, and we haven't recovered from it. So that's not being a bad fan or, you know, a fan that's not doesn't have faith. It's just I've watched this team play, you know, since the mid 80s. You know, I understand how this team operates. And again, every once in a while, you know, predictions are going to be wrong. We're not going to be always right here. No one is right 100% of the time, but a lot of times you can tell a lot based on history repeating itself and looking at body language and aura and vibe to feel like, okay, do we got it? You know, do the players look like they want it, or are they checked out mentally? And it kind of feels like we've checked out, unfortunately, but I'm still crossing my fingers for a little ninth inning magic. But now we got to pray that we hold them to 3-2, because if it goes to 4 or more, the game's over 100%. But if we can keep it at 3, we'll probably have like a 30% chance to tie, 10% chance to win. You know, but it's not looking good, but, you know, anything is possible in sports, right? But then also, too, now we have fucking Bizzardo in the game, who's absolutely terrible. 6.62 ERA in 13 games. Just got called up from AAA today. Why the hell is he in the game? Golly. Might as well have Troy Taylor pitch the 7th and the 8th than this guy. Little slow roll hopper, throw to first. One away. They got lucky there. And Bizzardo's one of the worst ones in the bullpen. Terrible. He's like sauce. Unreliable. I'm about consistency, not unreliability. Bottom of the 8th, 3-2, Angels, 1 away. Next up is Kevin Pala, which is outside, called a strike. 0-1 count, 0 for 3 for Pala. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're trying to get to 30. Popped up. Cal is there, and he dropped it, and he runs into the net. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Now Cal Raleigh is hurt. Great. Great. Fucking A. Cal hustling, trying to be able to get that ball. Bounces off the net, and now he's injured. Fucking A, man. Are you kidding me? Hopefully he just got the wind knocked out of him, but you got that concrete right there as well as the wall. Cal's a big boy, too. 6'3", 240. So a lot of body coming down. They don't call him the big dumper for nothing. Ooh, trips over the wall and lands his leg on that concrete. Fucking A. Good hustle by Cal. And injury to insult there. Insult to injury. Not only does he get injured and running into the net and then his knee hit the concrete, he didn't even catch the fucking ball. Brutal. I feel good, man. I feel the Bucks are going to win the NFC South again. Regardless if we have Tom Brady or Baker. Now, I know Atlanta is going to be better. With Kirk Cousins, Kyle Pitts will get utilized. They got Bajan. They got Drake London. Offensive line is good. They picked up Judon. They ended up picking up, some defensive guys here as of late. So I know they're going to be, Simmons that got picked up. Obviously Judon got picked up. So the defense was the big question mark for the Falcons, but they're going to be a little bit better. So the Falcons could definitely do it. But with the Saints, they're pretty good on offense and defense. But again, I feel Carr isn't really the right quarterback for that team. So he'll make magic at times. But if AK-41 gets injured or Olave, or they have issues on that offensive line, the Saints could essentially finish in third behind the Falcons and the Bucks. So I think it will be a 3-team race. I think the Panthers are going to be terrible. They'll be in the running for the worst team in football again, probably win 1 to 4 games this year. But as far as the Falcons, Saints, and Bucks, all of them have potential to get to 10 wins, but again, I feel like the Bucks, as long as they don't have any big injuries, they should win 10 to 12 games and go 10-7, 11-6, or 12-5. So that's kind of what I'm feeling. But with that being said, the Bucks are a pretender. We can win the division and make the playoffs, and we can end up beating a team like we beat the Eagles last year, but they're not good enough to end up going to the NFC Championship this year unless there's big injuries to like the Lions and the Niners and a lot of the other teams that make the playoffs. And then if we get lucky, maybe, we overachieve and, could maybe possibly make the NFC Championship game this year, next year, the following year, but I don't think so. To me, they look like a team that could win the division, but they would lose the first game in the playoffs or win one game and then lose the second game, and that's just being real. So. Yeah, he was much better on the Raiders. He was a natural-born fit for your team, but for the Saints, it's like the most unnatural fit for a quarterback in the entire league. I feel like, you have to have the right type of style of play, and I feel the style of play they play for the Saints is the opposite of what Carr is good at. So I feel that at some point they may bench him, and Spencer Rattler will get in and maybe take over. So, yeah, I wish the best for him too, but wrong team. Wrong situation there as they're working on Cal Raleigh, and hopefully he's okay here. I mean, Cal's a tough son of a bitch. He ended up having, teeth pulled, played the next game. He ends up having all kinds of little minor injuries to his fingers, his hand, his wrist, his legs, and he doesn't exit the game, and he's a tough son of a bitch. Body falls down awkwardly and hard. Down on his knees there, and his arm got twisted up a little bit too. All right, we're 1 like away from hitting the goal for the stream. We're at 29. So if you haven't smashed the like button, there it is. Now we're at 30. Everything here on out will be gravy. Thank you. Bottom of the 8th, 3-2 Angels. Pitches outside. Good for Cal. What a tough son of a bitch, and that's why he's one of my favorite players on the team. even if he ends up having an injury where most catchers would exit the matchup, he'll stay in there, and he's the most valuable piece on the Mariners overall, even more than our pitchers. Because again, if Cal's not catching and helping the pitchers out, Castillo, Miller, Kirby, Gilbert, and Wu wouldn't be as good, period. Bottom of the 8th, 1 out, 1-2 count to Pala. Pitches inside. Did he go around? And he struck him out. Wow. Bizzardo getting fucking lucky there with the punch out. We'll take it. 2 away. Next up, center fielder, Mickey Moniak. And Mickey has been a killer playing like Mickey Mantle instead of Mickey Moniak. So he's had multiple home runs in this series against the Mariners. And hopefully he doesn't get another one here, because if he homers here, the game is over 100%, just based on morale alone. But if we can get him out, well, we're going to have maybe a 30% chance to tie, 10% chance to win, but that's better than 0. Yeah, I mean, towards the end of the year, they were in the top 10 in defense. I think they were ranked at the end of the year based on some stats. They were ranked 9th. Towards the end of the year, they started to get hot, but you just need a little bit more action other than Max Crosby. And if you can get that, then you can have a little bit more consistency as well. But I'll tell you what, that's the most exciting player on your team, hands down. Obviously Devontae Adams, and you got a few other guys that can make some plays, but Crosby, is a Hall of Fame player like Devontae. And again, those are going to be the guys that are going to be looked upon the most this season, as well as Jacoby Myers too. Plus, drafting hasn't been kind to you guys in the last few years, on defensive picks, as well as offensive picks. A lot of guys that were in jail or cut or committed crimes. It just hasn't been, the picks that you wanted. Like, you saw these guys in college and some of them had some promise. But again, it's like you want to make sure you're getting guys that aren't going to get in trouble off the field and hopefully getting some character guys. But I'll tell you what, I do love Max Crosby, and I do love some of the guys on the team. Hopefully Jackson Powers Johnson can help solidify the offensive line up front. But yeah, it's just really rough. I mean, you guys have probably had it more rough in your draft picks than any other team in the last 5 to 10 years, if we're being honest. So, okay, we're going to the top of the 9th here. And again, the score is 3-2. I imagine it'll end 3-2, but hopefully we can get a little bit of magic here and tie the game up and hopefully win 4-3 in extras, but it'll take a hell of an effort to do that. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 3 with a solo jack early to match the game 1-1. First baseman, Luke Raley. Batting second, 0 for 3 with a K, DHing for the Mariners, Mitch Haniger. And this was a mistake. We probably should have had Justin Turner. Since he hit 2 home runs yesterday, we should have had him at DH today. So that obviously is going to be on Dan Wilson. And we didn't even have Dan Wilson make a substitution here today. We just gave fucking Turner the day off after hitting 2 home runs. Mistake. And batting third, an individual that has actually had a good game, third baseman, Hollywood Josh Rojas. And obviously Dylan Moore ended up having a good game as well, and he didn't play here today. It was Julio, right? Justin Turner with 2 home runs yesterday, and Dylan Moore, and 2 out of those 3 players didn't even fucking play. So Ben Joyce is a fucking machine. 29 games, 2.20 ERA. This could get very ugly very quick. 99 miles an hour. There we go, Luke. First pitch strike. Luke takes a chance on a swing, and he connects. Nice. There we go. Nice job, Luke. And normally you're not going to hit Joyce's pitches at all. I mean, especially when he pitches 99 to 103. So we got lucky there. And now we bring in JP Crawford, which I feel is a mistake. I would rather go with an individual like Justin Turner instead. But here it is. Let's see if JP can be a hero. He's been ice cold since he's come back from the injury. Not sure if I agree with this, but you never know. And I would agree with that, Glock 40. There's probably a better chance that we hit into a double play, and he did. Idiot. Again, why would you have JP in the game? This is like Scott Service managing. Come on, Dan Wilson. Don't be a dummy. Stupid. Fuck, man. It's like, why would you bring in a guy that's been ice cold? When you had a guy yesterday that hit 2 home runs and then another guy that ended up being 3 for 4, 3 for 5, and Dylan Moore. Hello? He's out. Double play. Motherfuck. Oh, you did. But I was going to say that as well if you did it. When you have a guy like that and then you get a guy on first with no outs or 1 out, what's the first thing that we all think about? Oh, it's going to be a double play for us or it's going to be a double play on them. And that's exactly what fucking happened. No, J-Rod did not hit a fucking home run today. I mean, it's very clear it's out. It's a double play. But again, you have to know your roster. And again, Scott Service needs so many of these kind of errors. This is the first error that I've seen Dan Wilson do in the lineup. The lineup was not right. And then obviously you're bringing in the wrong type of pinch hitter. Why would you bring in JP when you got 2 guys that were good yesterday? Now, it also is possible that Justin Turner and Dylan Moore hit into the double play, but we would feel better about that guy being in the box rather than JP. Hell, JP doesn't even deserve to be in the 1 spot anymore. He's been grandfathered into the role. That guy should be in the 9 hole, right? Victor Robles should be the leadoff hitter. But again, I'm not the fucking manager, but I know I'm not the only Mariner fan that thinks that. Double play. And like I said, I kind of felt like the game was going to end 3-2, and now we're 1 out away from that actually coming true. So, and it's not, being a bad fan or being negative. It's just being honest on how I feel. It's like either I feel like we're going to do it, we're going to come back and win, and then sometimes we do, or I feel like, we've kind of hit a plateau and we flatlined. And, unless a miracle happens, we're going to lose. Next up is Josh Rojas. Jesus Christ, 103 to Rojas on that first pitch. Joyce is an animal. My God. Not a lot of guys besides Joyce and Miller on the A's that can hit 100 plus. 0-1 pitch. That second pitch, 102. And back in the 80s and 90s, you used to be able to see guys pitch over 100 a lot. Nowadays, it's a rare thing. You don't see guys consistently pitch over 100 anymore. My God, 103, 102, 102. And we were lucky that Luke Raley hit a pitch that was 99 on a first pitch strike. Joyce trying to get ahead of the count. Top of the 9th, 2 outs, 2-1 count to Rojas. Strike right there in the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And again, I feel like ESP is going to be on more times than not. Now we're down to our last strike. I just wish they didn't have a closer like Joyce, and then maybe we would have a chance. But you have to take that into consideration. To act like Joyce isn't a good, type of closer. I mean, he's electric. Top of the 9th, 3-2, 2 outs, 2-2 pitch from Joyce to Rojas. 103, crushed foul. Yeah, this is the first game that Dan Wilson has managed not to his potential, and I think he's done a great job up to this lineup and up to this point. 2-2 pitch, and just gets a little bit of that one, and it deflects off the catcher as he goes down. Hopefully he's okay. Top of the 9th, 3-2 Angels. 2-2 count as Ron Washington looks on. Yeah, but just because you played, Pop Warner or high school ball or even if you ended up playing college ball and understanding what it takes to be an athlete. Yeah, we get that. You can get in the shoes of an athlete and understand how hard it is, but you can't push it under the rug when the things aren't going well. And if we call out, players for not playing well, you can't act like, no, we're good. When we're bad, we're bad. You have to acknowledge the bad. Ignoring the bad and acting like everything is good. You can do that, but obviously all Duck fans understand what's going on right now. Big swing and a miss, and the game is over. So regardless if you understand what it's like to be an athlete, there's good players and there's bad players. And, and you can't give credit to a bad player or a bad unit, especially when we're ranked third in the fucking nation. We were supposed to win by 40, 50 points. We won by 10. You can't sweep it under the rug, bro. That's just being real. Final score, Angels 3, Mariners 2. You got to call a spade a spade. You have to understand. Sometimes it's going to be good, and sometimes it's not. Tough game here for the Mariners, and obviously we'll be back on it tomorrow against the A's. Shout out to all the people that liked, donated, commented, and shared. I appreciate you very, very much. And congratulations to all of the Angel fans. You guys kicked ass. Obviously ended up, beating our ass in this particular series. Both games are winnable, but it shows you when the Mariners score 1 to 3 runs, right? We only win 4 games and we have 40 plus losses. And I told you a few innings ago, I thought the game was going to end 3-2. I'm not going to be right all the time, but here we go. Final score, Angels 3, Mariners 2. And I got one question for you. Who talks sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, GG Angels and their fan base. And we'll be back tomorrow. Go Mariners. Gang, gang.